Hey everybody, it's me, Kathy. I missed Flatbread Friday this week, so today I'm gonna take all my planned flatbread ingredients, some sausage, peppers and onions, and I'm gonna do something that I saw on social media, and I never heard of it before, but I'm gonna try it out today, and it's pizza pull-apart bread. And we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be fun, and let's go. I haven't used bulk sausage from the fresh market, but it looks pretty good. So the first thing we're gonna do is break it up into our skillet and cook it up. It smells really good too. It's very fennelly. I can't wait to taste. Our sausage is cooking up nicely. We're gonna wait until it's completely browned, but it's exuding no fat. I'd like to know what kind of pork they made this sausage out of. Because when I cook the peppers and onions, now I'm going to have to add some other kind of oil. Because I was going to cook it in the sausage fat, but it is not exuding any fat. But we shall keep cooking it and see if it does at the end. Our sausage is nicely cooked and crumbled. And now we're going to remove it from the pan and we're going to cook our vegetables. Before we start our vegetables, I'm going to see if I can scrape up these brown bits. No fat from this pork. Pretty crazy. I might need some more. Looks like I do. Our sausage flavor is all loosened up now. And instead of leaving it in the pan, what I'm gonna do, because it's watery, is add it to our cooked pork. Bits and pieces are gone, and now we're going to put in some olive oil. And it's starting to get sizzly already. So in comes our peppers and onions. Mix them together. Season them up with some salt and pepper. Some Italian herbs. This is parsley, basil, and oregano. And a little shake of red pepper flake. And I'm going to cook these down until they are soft. And then we are going to make our sausage, pepper, and onion pizza pull-apart bread. While our vegetables are cooking, we're going to prepare our dough. First thing I'm going to do is sprinkle a little flour onto the work surface here. This is our fresh market pizza dough. Again. And we're going to stretch it out into about a 12 by 9 rectangle. That's a little big. Push it back together because we're going to do something funky with this. Our dough is shaped, and we're going to get rid of that hole right there, the bubble, and we're going to push it to the side for just a minute. And I'm going to get out a mixing bowl. And I'm going to brush it with some of our roasted garlic oil. We're all brushed up. Now we're gonna bring our dough back. Come on, baby. And we are gonna cut it into about 1-inch pieces. We're gonna make them into little squares, or not necessarily squares, just pieces, because we're gonna roll them together. Like that. We're gonna throw them in our bowl. Our pizza dough balls are all formed and sort of sticking together, but we can fix that, I think. And now we're gonna do the rest. Our vegetables are nicely softened. And now we're gonna add our sausage back in. And mix it all together. And let it cool down a bit. And this is too much sausage, peppers, and onions for the bread that we're making. So we're gonna have to figure out a future use for these sausage, pepper, and onion. But lots of stuff you can do with sausage, peppers, and onions. Here's our what would have been topping mixture. To our dough balls, we're gonna add a couple of cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. And a little bit less of a sharper Italian cheese. You can use Parmesan. This is my favorite Italian 4-cheese blend. I'm gonna throw in about a half a cup of that. We're gonna toss up the dough and the cheese. Break it all up. Our dough balls are tossed with the cheese nicely and separated nicely. And next comes our would-be topping. We're gonna add in just about a cup or so of our sausage, peppers, and onions. And now we're gonna toss them again. I'm thinking that I want to add just a little bit more. Going in. Tossing again. I think this is going to be pretty amazing. We'll see how it goes. Now, we're going to let this rest for a little bit. Let the flavors marry. Let the dough get set up. And while we do, we're going to prepare our baking dish. If you have a bundt pan, that's the best thing you can use to make this bread. It gives you a little hole in the middle where you can put your dipping sauce, which is going to be tomato sauce. I don't. So this is just one of these. And we're going to brush this with our roasted garlic oil too. Across the bottom. I have this pan came with parchment, so when I use it, I always put the parchment on the bottom. And now we're going to brush the sides. Our springform pan is nicely oiled, and if you own a ramekin and you're going to use a springform pan and not a bundt pan, you would take a ramekin, brush it with some of this oil, and lay it upside down in the middle to form your hole. But I do not own any ramekins. What I'm going to use is my fattest martini shaker, and I'm going to oil the sides of that and place that in the center like so. And now we're going to add our dough and bake our pull-apart pizza bread. Okay, our dough is going in. It's get you a little closer so we get this a little closer. Spread it evenly around. We're going to even it up, turn it around. Okay. Here's our not cooked yet pull apart pizza bread, and it's going in the oven 350 for about 30 minutes. And you want to check it halfway through to make sure it's not getting too brown. Just lightly. It'll make it nice and crusty and garlicky. Okay, now we are ready to go in. And we'll check on it and see how it's going. Our pizza pull apart bread is out of the oven. Firm to the touch, lightly browned, looking great, smelling great. A little bit of oil leaked out on the bottom. Here's what we look like up close. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing out of the middle, but maybe I'll let it rest for a minute or two first. Did it? That's gonna be nasty to wash, but we're gonna let this rest for a little bit and then we're gonna take it out of the pan. You wanna take a butter knife and just run it around the edge. I don't believe this one really needed it, but I'm glad we did it anyway because I wouldn't want it to get stuck. Now we're gonna open her up. Lift the top off. Some of the cheese is a little stuck. So I've lined a plate with some paper towels to see if we can get rid of some of that grease. And we'll lay it on top. Flip it over. Pull this off. And the paper. And now we're going to take a second plate and flip it back. Here's our pizza sausage, pepper, and onion pizza pull apart bread. And now we're gonna heat up some tomato sauce and serve it up. Oops, knocked you over. Anyway, because I don't have a ramekin, I'm gonna use the top of the shaker as a serving thing. So to keep it from leaking through the holes, because this is this top makes it too high. Somebody's walking a dog by the house. Kelly's going crazy. So we're gonna seal up the top. Nice and tight. Place it upside down in the center. And here comes our tomato sauce. Here's some ragu that I heated up in the microwave. And we're going in. This is the smallest bowl I have, and it's too big to fit in the middle of this bread, so that's why we're using the top. And just to make it pretty, we're going to sprinkle it a little bit with some of these Italian herbs. Parsley, basil, oregano, a little on the sauce too. And let's hope this pulls apart the way it should. It's kind of crispy around the edges, so it might take a little effort, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's coming off. Just the edge. Here's what we look like on the inside. Bready and cheesy and meaty. And then you dip it and eat it. So we're gonna get there. Thank you for joining me while we played with our Flatbread Friday ingredients. Here's our piece that we're gonna take a bite of. We're gonna give it a little dunk in our sauce. And now we're going in. That came out so good. And I'm sorry we missed Flatbread Friday, but I wanted to also mention that you can use any of your favorite pizza toppings to put this thing together. And it's fun, and it's gonna be a great appetizer or dinner or whatever you want to do with it. And thanks again. We'll see you soon.